Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Get Bit podcast, the podcast for blurs, nerds, everything in between. You got a fandom, we're going to bring it to you. Except for you, Jerry. You know you did. Anyways, I am your host, HBO canceled television show host Joe Tonello. We will be talking about recent cancellations. Where the heck is James Gunn? A plethora of comics because Will is not here to stop me from doing over five. We will be doing some trailer work, discussing the Microsoft event that came out, and the only thing that actually really interested anybody in the Microsoft event, as well as some other bits, news, and some trailers going on. So, first off, we will cover the news as quickly as we can. Um, First and foremost, Superman and Lois finally casted their Lex Luthor. It is Michael Cudlitz, known mostly to those in The Walking Dead fame as Abraham. He has been casted as Lex Luthor going forward in season 3 of Superman and Lois. Coming up on top of that, Io Itaberi has been landed a role in Marvel's Thunderbolts movie. The role is still secret, and if I had to guess anything, she's going to be Meteorite. Just seems like a good role for her. She was in The Bear. Was her last starring role. I can't really think of too many people she could be unless they are recasting Ghost for whatever reason. She would be a newer version of Ghost, but I don't see them recasting her. She could also be Bob's wife, which could play into the Thunderbolts movie, as it is still heavily believed that the Sentry will be the primary antagonist in the Thunderbolts movie, which greatly is overmatching anybody in the Thunderbolts, but it's the Sentry. That man could be anything, literally. I mean, in Doctor Strange, he was filled with 1 million crazed ghosts. So Io Edeberry has been cast. We just don't know what. In Thunderbolts, again, my money is on Meteorite. She also could be Mockingbird or Mockingbird. Songbird is Carol Danvers. Mockingbird, which we discussed previously, as another actress who was rumored to get the part. This one has at least been confirmed that she's on the film. We don't know her role yet. Again, money's on that. Moving forward, Kenny Omega has been confirmed to be via a new commercial, which you can find over on Sega's YouTube. He will be guesting as a trooper card in the upcoming Like a Dragon Ishin, meaning he will be a guest character or summoned somehow as part of the Shinsengumi in the upcoming Yakuza video game. Titans and Doom Patrol. They have both been canceled as of after their season 4. So after season 4, both Titans and Doom Patrol have finished their roles. Titans kind of surprises me that they are getting canceled. I saw that going a little bit longer, at least for another 2 seasons. Doom Patrol, on the other hand, I did see probably getting to be canceled after this season, mostly because Brendan Fraser has become very prominent again in the acting circles, so his availability may not be as easy as it once was. And considering he's one of the linchpin characters in that series, his Robot Man being almost the principal character of the series would lead to it being hard to run forward. Not that Doom Patrol cannot exist without Robot Man, but because he's the whole point, Doom Patrol is still going, aside from Diane Guerrera, who is still killing it. That woman is one of my favorite actresses. But yeah, moving forward after season 4, Doom Patrol is canceled. Titans is canceled. James Gunn immediately took to Twitter because he knew what kind of backlash this was going to entail, and immediately put out a statement that says his DC Studios was not involved in the cancellation of Titans or Doom Patrol. This was done prior to him and Michael Safran being put in charge of DC. So this came from the what's it called? The Warner Brothers side of things rather than DC Studios. Not surprising. They're still canceling things left and right. They're still trying to cut costs, trying to make way for all that whatever they're going to be combining with now to make the Max, which I believe is what the HBO Max is going to start becoming. Oh, Lord, who's to say on what this is going to be? So, kind of sucks. Titans was one of those shows that was slowly getting better as each season went along, both in character progression, production value, and acting, because season 1 was a little rough, but it righted its ship pretty well in season 2 and continued chugging forward at a pretty even pace, even though season 3's villain was very inconsistent in competency, but, do with that what you will. I do appreciate that James Gunn immediately got on top of this. That man has an insane Twitter presence, and I think he may have he's got to have at least 5 or 10 people on Twitter feeding him news and feeding him any rumors that come through, because that man is one of the most on top of it in terms of going, no, that's wrong, no, that's wrong, no, that's right, no, that's wrong. So for him to immediately get out ahead of this Titans and Doom Patrol and just say, no, I had nothing to do with it, pretty good. I enjoy that this man takes his job very, very seriously. Microsoft had an event. As most viewers know, I do not have an Xbox. I am not one for all the pew-pew games because I'm not big into first-person shooters, so I really don't have much love for Xbox, mostly because their Forza Motorsports doesn't have the Top Gear crew, the good Top Gear crew, on it anymore, so I have no reason to play it. But, they did launch something. We'll put a trailer here. Let it run for a little bit. Okay, we're back from this Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was not only shadow dropped, but comes from a decent degree Shinji Murakami. For those of us, horror master Shinji Murakami. Tokyo Ghostwire, Evil Within 1 and 2. I want to say the early Resident Evils, but, correct me if I'm wrong on that. That's fine. Dropped this fantastic rhythm action game where it's not Crypto the Necrodance where you have to move to the beat. You get bonuses in both travel and combat by attacking to the beat. They have various instruments and artists. They have also a streamer-friendly soundtrack, which is equally as good. I've been watching the gameplay videos via Maximilian Dude's Twitch. Game is insanely polished for something that was not only not leaked, shadow dropped on the day it came out. It's just one of those things you just don't expect to have this high a quality for something that's $30 and shadow dropped. But the thing, it just looks so much fun. This is one of the very few times I'll say this. I'm actually jealous I don't own an Xbox and that this is an Xbox exclusive because I really want to play this. Other notable things from there was Forza Motorsport is coming back out, being retitled as Forza Motorsport. For those unaware, Forza Horizon is their open world driving game. Forza Motorsport is their version of Gran Turismo. Same brand, 2 different styles of racing. One's more arcadey, one's more simulator. Previous Forza Motorsports had Top Gear with it, and that was their big pull. I miss those guys. Anyways, and then Minecraft PvP. Not a Minecraft guy. Can't put too much thoughts onto that. Uh, moving on to other news. I got a full list here because we've been making it all through the week. Also that Hi-Fi Rush is from Tango Gameworks. Big props to those guys. I am really, really happy about that. Justin Roiland, the domestic dispute charges has been affecting him rather negatively. Not only has he been taken off Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty is going to be continuing without Justin Roiland. His game stepping down from his game studio. He is now discontinued. Contracts have been terminated from not only Adult Swim but with Hulu. So Solar Opposites is now with Justin Roiland, as is most Adult Swim projects and Squanch Games. So there is that. Sad to say that happened, but domestic dispute is nothing to sneeze at. Like, just don't do it. Don't be mean to your partner. Don't be mean to anybody. Like, this is the consequences. You pay for it. It sucks that we lose Rick and Morty as in voice acting terms. But, man was in control of his actions, and these are the consequences for it. Moving on over to better news. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, which is still yet unnamed for sequel. We do have confirmation that both Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Sigourney Weaver will be coming back in the later sequel. This is unsurprising to me, as it is rumored that Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 will be taking some cues from Ghostbusters 2, possibly another Carpathian demon, possibly the return of Vigo, or maybe looking at Dana's son, which is technically now Venkman's stepson, or possibly grandkids. We don't really know what is going on. We just know that, principal cast from Ghostbusters Afterlife are involved, and now we know that on top of Ernie Hudson, now Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Sigourney Weaver are confirmed. If anything, Bill Murray's the president. Sigourney Weaver loves doing Ghostbusters. She was very, very disappointed she cannot be in the revival video game that Atari did several years ago. She thought it was just a quick crash grab. She was not made aware that the full crew was coming back and has regretted not being a part of it ever since. So her coming back, greatly enjoyed. Bill Murray coming back is the big shocker because, it's Bill Murray. That man is super fickle. As wonderful as the actor he is, and he is my favorite Ghostbuster, but, I'll call it spade a spade. The man's fickle in his work. That is set to be premiering later this year, probably around DC. I believe filming will be starting in March. Also, Ghostbuster news. Ghostbuster Spirit Unleashed, which you can watch on Twitch of mine sometimes, playing with the rest of the Tennessee Ghostbusters, got its big update patch. We get infernal skins with the ghosts. We are also now able to swap ghosts mid-match each time we are captured in the game. On the Buster side, we get prestige uniforms. And other thing is we now get shell skins to mix and match to customize our skins. And first skin is the real Ghostbusters skin. So we get real Ghostbusters Proton Pack skins, real Ghostbusters PKE skins, and real Ghostbusters Trap skins. This leads me to believe that going forward we will have skins for other packs. If any of you know me, I'm an extreme Ghostbusters fan, so much so that my Proton Pack is a 1-to-1 remake of the Extreme Ghostbusters pack. So here's hoping I can actually get an Extreme Ghostbusters pack built in the game. I will never be taking it off. What else do we got for news? Cyborg's new creative team over in comic news. First off, play the Shazam trailer here. We did get a new Shazam trailer. This one is much more action focused. We see possibly the slow corruption of Billy Batson in this, because in a couple scenes in this trailer, his uniform started to look a bit more like Black Adam's. with black crusting over parts of the thing when very little red showing. But, only time will tell. Shazam Fury of the Gods is not that far away, I believe 2 months off. So, Will, trailer here for Shazam, please. Other than that, I'm going to play a little bit. Okay. Moving forward, we have, as Will and I has discussed at length, the Cyborg comic. Now, I make no excuse for this. Will and I do not have high hopes for the Cyborg comic, mostly because it's very hard to tell a story with Cyborg. I still believe that the majority of Cyborg's story was told in Marv Wolfman and George Perez's run of Noon Teen Titans. And then they continuously try to slap him into Justice League, and it just does not work. And the only reason they slap him into Justice League is honestly because they rewrote some of Vic's storyline to where he has apocalypse technology. So, I don't like saying this, but the only reason he's on the Justice League because he's a glorified boom tube these days. Even in Young Justice, when he's there, it's mostly for boom tube related things. As was with the season 3 of Young Justice, where he had a larger amount of focus. It was just a lot about being part mother box and mostly a boom tube. So it really has soured me on the character they've treated him in such a way, rather than just letting him be a Titan where he belongs. He doesn't belong in the Justice League. He belongs on the Titans, be they the Teen Titans or the version the Titans, which he will be moving forward in the Dawn of DC line. But he's also getting a new book, which now has its own team, announced team. So its writer is a new writer called Morgan Hampton, who was a participant in the Milestone Talent Initiative development program. Good for this gentleman. Congrats. You worked your way through some of the hardest comic book writers this side of DC or Marvel. Milestone has turned out fantastic books, great endearing characters. There's not a kid I don't know that doesn't know who Static Shock is. Icon and Rocket are slowly being made aware of the public via Young Justice. Hardware is starting to gain a bit of notoriety. The Blood Syndicate is there, but, they're there. So this gentleman has come up through that Talent Initiative program. I wish him nothing but the best. Comic book artwork will be by Tom Rainey. The synopsis for Victor is he's going back, splitting his time between duties in Bloodhaven with the Titans, but will be rolling back home into his home city of Detroit, and dealing with newfound problems that only can be solved the Detroit style way. Also in news, the Green Lantern book has officially been previewed to let us know, hey, it's going. This is going to be written by Jeremy Adams and Zermanico. I'm going to try not to sound too petty because this is the Hal Jordan one. Everyone knows by now I'm not a Hal Jordan fan, but I will read a Green Lantern book in hopes that Kyle or someone else shows up to assist Hal Jordan to make the book bearable. The whole plot premise on that is following the Dark Crisis. The Owens have just pretty much, what's the term I'm looking for here? Isolated, quarantined would be the better thing. Quarantine Earth and the rest of the DC universe, as the majority of the problems seem to spin out of that. As a result, Hal Jordan is looking for the man who is brought this upon it, meaning he's going after Sinestro, which makes no sense to me considering Sinestro had very little to do with this. His Yellow Lantern Corps was just kind of like vanguards to the Great Darkness and Pariah. So I don't know what this book's going to be like. I'm hoping it's better than the last two Green Lantern runs. We have yet to hear what the team for the John Stewart Green Lantern book, which I am looking forward to reading, will be. I hope we get more focus on other lanterns and that the John Stewart book is more of a core book with him leading the core again. Because we've come up with a lot of great new lanterns. Simon Baz has his own personality now as a kind of a war machine type character. Jessica Cruz can now freely bounce back and forth between being a Green Lantern and a Yellow Lantern. That also gives me hope that we could see Sinestro's daughter again as a more prominent role. I've forgotten her name, unfortunately. Spell Sinestro correctly. Saronic Natu. Yeah, so I'm hoping Sornik gets to come back in the John Stewart book. That would just be nice. What can I say? I have no love lost for Hal Jordan. Also in the news, do we have anything else? DC Comic Online, Tinga Works. No, looks like that's it for news. So we will be going into comics, which we have this time around. All right, we're starting things off with Dark Web, Amazing Spider-Man number 18. This is written by Zeb Wells with art by Ed McGuinness and inks by Cliff Rathburn. I'm not going to spoil this because this is the penultimate issue to the finale of Dark Web. We will just say with Madeline Pryor's things resolved, Maddie wants to try and give Ben the same opportunity. Things go awry. Both the X-Men and Peter finally get out of limbo. However, as a result of a betrayal against Madeline, Ben has now become King of Limbo, complete with a new demon form and the new name of King Chasm. There's a reason why I'm dropping this book after Dark Web. I can only hope that the finale will somehow redeem Ben or give Ben a much more stable position in the Spider-Man universe or the Marvel universe going forward. This started off real fun, and it's slowly becoming kind of bad. I think the biggest issue I have with it is that they resolved half the issue in the 3-part tie-in with X-Men, which was fantastic. Like, do not get me wrong. That was absolutely fantastic. But this Spider-Man side, even with Ed McGuinness doing the art, which is a big step up from John Romita Jr., this story will probably be where I jump ship on Spider-Man after this ends, and I will not look back until we get a new artist and a new team. I did see that we may be getting a new artist, but it's maybe too little too late. So we will see what things are like going forward in Spider-Man, maybe every so often, but I will not be actively getting the book after Dark Web. Moving on, we have Sins of Sinister. This is written by Kieran Gillen, art by Lucas Rennick, and a ton of additional guest artists. Also, Brian Valenza. This is the big new X event coming out. This is Sinister's big event. So the gist of this is the direct tie-ins are to this has been Immortal X-Men. Sinister has officially killed the majority of the Quiet Council. They have been resurrected. However, because Sinister has clones of Moira, he has killed a Moira which resets the universe into the Age of Sinister. Unfortunately for Mr. Sinister, he is a clone, and it looks like something has backfired already for him. And the Age of Sinister may not be the age for this Mr. Sinister. We don't know which Sinister is behind all of this. We just know that the majority of the X-Men, with a very, very small exception, have all become Sinister versions, meaning they all have diamonds on their forehead. Save for a very few. I won't spoil who, but it is a new age. Everybody, all the X books are getting not reset, but they're getting new Sinister style titlings and will each be a 3-parter going forward until Sins of Sinister resolve. I have really high hopes for this because Kieran Gillian has done great work with the X-Men. His primary book, which is Immortal X-Men, has been nothing short of fantastic. X-Men versus Avengers versus Eternals. Axe was a great was a great event series. So I have very high hopes for this. Already we have Mr. Sinister cursing in the middle of Fiddlesticks, which I did not believe you could make that very large amount of cursing, but it happened. So recommend this. Exterminators number 5. Exterminators number 5 is written by Leah Williams, art by Carlos Gomez, and colors by Brian Valencia. This is the finale for Exterminators 4 now. It has already been officially revealed that this book will be continuing down the road, probably after Sins of Sinister ends, because this actually did get decent sales. Now, book 4 did end the main plot. This ends kind of in the wrap-up because this is a story about an ex-girlfriend out for revenge, and Dazzler does get a boon from Dracula himself and has officially asked Dracula going forward, hey, if you ever need anything for rogue vampires, you come to us. We are specialized in vampire killing. So Dazzler gets her revenge. We get to see the full extent of Jubilee's powers because Jubilee does get to show off that her her firework blast is only a small amount of what she can actually do, because it appears that she can actually explode things on an atomic level. So she does just that in a pretty cool display. Laura and Boom Boom are also here just for fun effect this time. This one is really more about Dazzler and Jubilee. But this was a fun series. I know not a lot of people liked it. This was kind of a grindhouse comic because of the nature of dialogue and some visual drawings. But I really enjoyed it. I think this was just a good, fun, turn your brain off comic. We do get to see that the Exterminators are doing things in the backgrounds in the X-Men book. So, I'm going to miss them. I can't wait till they come back. Hopefully they will not be like backups, but they will get their own next mini-series going forward. Because again, I enjoyed this. This was fun. Leah Williams does good work. Moving on over, we are looking at Inferno Girl Red. This is from Image Comics. This is part of the Massiverse, meaning this goes with Rogue Sun and Radiant Black, the Dead Lucky, and more recently, Cal was confirmed to be part of the Massiverse. For those of you that read Supermassive with us, Inferno Girl Red is the Sailor Moon equivalent of this universe. So we have Radiant Black, which is a Super Sentai take on it. This is the Magical Girl Sentai series. Rogue Sun is your metal hero, and Cal is your Showa era superhero, antics, crime drama stuff. A lot of what early Kamen Rider was with early police procedurals. And Dead Lucky is another Metal Hero series. So I don't want to spoil too much of this. Let's just say the hero is a girl of great mind and science. Her powers are magical. As a result of this, when evil arises, she can't fully grasp her powers because she just doesn't believe in magic. Once she does, things really take off. This is only book 1 of 3. This is a massive book, but well worth the money, well worth the read. This is written and co-created this is art by Eric DeRosso. Writer is Matt Groom, who you would know of the Power Ranger and Ultraman franchise. Colors is by Igor Monti. Background assistant by Lorenzo Tometa. Coloring assistant Sabrina Del Grosso. Editor is Kyle Higgins, principal writer of Radiant Black, and pretty much forerunner of the entire Massiverse. So I really hope you guys go out and read this. This is my recommend of the week. Please go out, support this book. I want more of her down the line, and I can't wait to see where we go from here on this. Moving on over, Action Comics 1051. This is the first book in Dawn of DC. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Rafa Sedova, colors by Matt Herms. You know, as you can see here, this is a book that's going to encompass the entire Superman family. Most notably, this will slowly move out to focus on the extended Superman family, while Superman will go back on Clark. John will be getting his own book. So this book will mostly be dealing with Kenan Kong, Supergirl, the two young twins from Battleworld during Clark's time in Battleworld, and Steel and Natalia, which will also be getting their own books and called Steelworks. Connor's going to be getting his own book as well, possibly a mini-series. But this one just sets everything up. So, in part of a new DC initiative, your first book is always going to be a Superman book. This did not disappoint. We get to see the return of Metallo. We get to see how everybody kind of fits into their role in the Superman family. The thing I like the most about this book is that it treats Supergirl as older as she is. So this takes into the fantastic book Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in continuity. So Kara is now officially in her mid-20s in this book, which works for her. We can move past the Supergirl stuff. Let her be Superwoman. We can have her do other things. We can have her finally be a mentor rather than the sidekick or part of the Legion, or the cousin with too much powers that Batman's suspicious of. Just a lot of things. I dig that Kenan Kong is back. I really liked New Superman. I was super bummed when they canceled the book. I think that was a wasted opportunity, and I am really glad he's back. I hope he gets his own book going forward. Connor, I like that he's back. It's going to be interesting to see where he fits into everything, considering we have Jonathan in his new suit. But, there's always room. John, I know, is getting his own suit because he's going to start becoming Electric Blue. This was a good read. I enjoyed it. We had a great comedic moment because we get to see what Lois and Clark are into in the bedroom, accidentally. Let's just say Clark kept his Battleworld outfit for other reasons. Again, we get to see the return of Metallo. Lex Luthor is still a force to be reckoned with, even in jail. And, I don't want to give too much away. Definitely go give this a shot. I will probably be picking this up moving forward because I like the art. I like the writer. I like the artist. I want to see where the rest of the family goes forward. Next up, we have Blue Beetle Graduation. This is 3 of 6. This is written by Josh Trujillo. Adrian Gutierrez art. Will Quintana in coloring. Long and short of this one, this is Jaime running around with Starfire, and they have to fight the newly established Green Beetle, which may be which is an alien, which much different powers than Jaime, who still cannot touch Kaji Da. Meanwhile, Batman talks to Ted Cord. Victoria Cord, which I still don't know if is a new character or not, is interrogating the Gold Beetle. Just everything breaks loose, and you'll have to see for yourself. I'm trying not to spoil a lot of these because this week was really good for reading, and I want you guys to go out and get these books and enjoy them. Moving on over, we got Justice Society of America #2. This is written by Jeff Johns with art by Michael Janin, Jerry Ordway, and Scott Collins. I knew that was Scott Collins' art. Scott Collins is my favorite artist on Flash, by the way, guys. The Wally era. So, as a show, Helena is zapped to the 1940s and tries to warn them about the man who's killing them. We do finally have confirmation of who the mystery man is. If you read JSA or know anything about the JSA, it's Prodecaton. That was not even remotely a mystery. Through bizarre circumstances, Helena, upon touching the Helm of Fate, is jettisoned from the 40s and pushed forward into our time and winds up in the current day and age where he is with Khalid, Deadman, and Detective Chimp. Other stuff happens. Again, we're trying not to spoil the book entirely. I want everyone to go read it. Jeff Johns knows his JSA. I trust him on this. Artwork is fantastic. Jerry Ordway and everybody that contributes to this book is fantastic. Everybody feels like they should for their time period, which is why we have the multiple artists. Story-wise, I'll see where this goes forward. I am less than thrilled that it's Prodecaton rather than any other enemy, but it's the first story arc. I can't complain too much. And then rounding out the night, we have Human Target Book 11. This is where everything unfolds. We got one more book, then that's it for Human Target, but we have Chance's last day on the planet before he dies from the poison with ice. We find out everything, the means, the motive, the reasons behind the motive, and just who may have killed the Human Target. Written by Tom King, art and colors by Greg Smallwood. And then moving forward next month, Black History Month, and DC will be going forward with DC Power, of a celebration of Black excellence. This will be written by Chuck Brown, Morgan Hampton of Cyborg. This is going to be Morgan Hampton's debut book. Stephanie Williams, Evan R.C., Brandon Thomas, Lamont McGee, Jordan Clark, and more. Art by Valentine Delandrio, Clayton Henry, Peterson, Oliveira, Nachia Bustos, Chris Cross, Alethea Martinez, Daryl Banks, and more. Covered by Janoy Lindy. This is just going to be a really, really good book. I look forward to this. I love when both DC and Marvel can celebrate an ethnicity and help promote new writers and new artists of color to people. I myself clearly am looking forward to both the Joe Mullen story, the John Stewart story, the Black Lightning story. We will get our first glimpse of how Morgan Hampton handles Cyborg. I wish him nothing but the best on this. I will definitely be picking this up. This comes out I want to say very soon, possibly next week, or maybe in the month of February, even though next week technically is February, but potato, potato. Looking forward to this. Really, really looking forward to this. Cannot wait. Joe Mullins, my third favorite Green Lantern, only behind Kyle Rayner and Jessica Cruz. If you have not read Far Sector, please go read Far Sector. That is a fantastic book. Guys, that'll do it for Get Bit tonight. I have been Joe. Thank you for being with me on this one. We will be back shortly with Will and everything. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take it easy. You can find me and all the normal stuff. Joe Italian last name on Twitter. Joe Italian last name on Twitch. My YouTube channel, Soul Justice Gaming, which you can see right there. I am putting out Battle Spirit Saga content at the moment for gaming. Working on deck profiles, trying to cover the game. Really enjoying what I'm doing with the game and the community. The community's been really, really nice. Hopefully we will be able to get video up soon of fights, but that requires me being able to get to places and doing things. As always, as Will always likes to remind everybody, Rick's Comic City, they are fantastic to us. Go see all 3 locations. Donaldson, Clarksville, Fort Campbell. Go to the library if you can't get to a comic store. Libraries are cheap. They have every book you'll ever imagine, be it on audio or in physical media version. We just want you guys to please go and support your local library. It is still one of the best sources for books you can ever find. Other than that, you guys take it easy. Hopefully Will and I will be back to tag team next week, and I will see you guys later.